welcome back to the Lunchable podcast with Shandon Clinton,
Alexander Montgomery,
John Barley,
Megan Hansen,
J-Rad,
and with our special guest today,
Al.
And so, guys, today we got for you our movies. And we're going to go around the podcast table and talk about our favorites. Alexander, you want to lead us off?
Boom, 28 Days Later, favorite movie.
Zombies, of
surprised.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody knows that I love zombies. Can't get over it.
Nobody cares. That's why.
It's one of the best zombie movies.
It's actually a really good idea. I like the 28 series.
You can't deny.
me too.
Series later.
I waited
like the 28 series.
I waited so long for the next one to come out. I was like, man, when are we gonna do it?
I didn't like the second one as much.
It wasn't as awesome as the first one, but it was still decent.
Reverse those for me.
Still
Really?
decent.
Wow.
Well, 28 weeks was a lot quicker. Where 28 days, you started out, it was 10 minutes of just him walking around.
You didn't think the kid was
Naked.
dreaming?
Dude.
God.
But the way that the first one was shot put so much more into it,
Oh, yeah.
the whole
Oh,
grainy
yeah.
feel. Oh, it's just so
Yeah, it was really gritty.
Yeah.
So gritty.
John, what's your favorite movie?
Well, it's kind of weird for me because it's either
My favorite
Between-
movie is the 28 Days Later film.
it's either the 500 Blows, this old French movie, or Nacho Libre.
Oh, God.
Get that coat out of my face!
If you guys don't know, that's my text message ringtone.
Jesus.
very nice.
Megan, what's your favorite movie?
Star Wars.
Star Wars? Which one? All of them?
Uh,
Just all the Star Wars?
I
of
like all of
them.
them, but
I
I like.
like-
Oh.
Jared, you're not a pretty girl.
I was just gonna make fun of her. It's okay.
No, I
Perfectly
like.
acceptable.
I like Return of the Jedi. You wanna know why?
No, we go on.
Slave Leia.
Oh, God.
Of course.
Slut.
Are you
We
excited
just
for
learned
the
a lot about
Are you
it.
excited for the new ones?
Yes
No.
and no.
No. Yes,
No,
absolutely.
yes, I want to see what they're gonna do with it. But I actually just I was looking up stuff about Star Wars before the podcast started, and I saw that the script it hasn't been given to Disney yet. So I don't know if they're even gonna do
That
it.
makes
I don't
sense.
know. Well, and I don't
That-
know if it's being put off or whatever. But
That seems like a smart move to me. Not giving them the script until everything's finalized and finished.
Right.
no. Well, they're the ones who have to produce it. So they're the ones who have to okay it. So it's production of it has stopped. So they're not even doing.
But I'm
anything
really
with it.
excited about it because J.J. Abrams is writing it along with the person who co-wrote The Empire Strikes Back, which is the best Star Wars, arguably.
Was it me and you who were talking about it would be awesome just to see a clone trooper movie of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Like
You could-
the original Clone Wars animated film,
Uh-huh.
where you see the clone generals and how
they had
just
a
go through
whole
the
book
city
on
and-
the
or
clone
five-man army.
commandos and a game based off of the clone commandos.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool to see a movie just based on the clone commandos.
that would be pretty good.
I love the stormtroopers. That's what I liked.
What? I just want a movie on the Ewoks, man. Really?
Wasn't there an Ewok special? I'm pretty sure there was.
Yeah, it was some Christmas special.
Yeah,
Let's
the-
not talk about that monstrosity right
Al,
now.
Was
special
I
guest,
not
sir.
supposed to bring
What's
it up?
your favorite movie?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Good movie.
So
Good
that's
one.
all right.
Yeah.
I like it because there's not a scene in that movie that I wouldn't go watch again.
Really?
Yeah, I've
So
seen
you
a
could
lot.
you could literally watch it all and it'd still be really
Yeah, there's
Okay.
not that many movies for me.
okay. Right on. What you got, Jared?
I got too many to name, but my go-to, it's always Ghostbusters, man.
Ghostbusters, really?
Yes.
Is that who you're constantly gonna call?
All the time.
All the time?
I aspired to be a Ghostbuster when I grew up, and I realized that my life is a lie and I'm a failure. So it's okay.
Fair enough.
It
Alright,
didn't
Jared.
happen, Ma.
I'm just gonna be that guy and say Pulp Fiction
Oh.
because I recently watched it. Oh my God!
For those of you who can't see, Jared just pulled his wallet out of his pocket.
Says bad motherfucker.
See, I was late to this movie and didn't watch it until literally last summer,
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
it is very amazing.
Did you see it at the South Point?
No, I watched it.
Oh,
I missed all of those.
Yeah.
ooh, they're good.
Oh, South Point does the thing where you can watch the older movies online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
digitally
Yeah.
remastered
Yeah. Okay. Right on.
to be
So,
just as grainy.
So what did we just have come out today and we saw slightly as a group? Hobbit!
Yeah, we totally all saw it.
Smaug. We totally saw it,
John Al.
minus everyone else in the podcast.
Half the podcast saw it, half the podcast did not.
Well, we went as a giant group of the shop.
It was Cheese Boy.
We had a whole row
yeah,
to ourselves.
Yeah, we
It
did.
was
See,
awesome.
the thing is, I had told Al, I was like, hey, want to go to the midnight release? And he was like, hell yeah. And I was like, all right, Al, you ready to go? And he's like, what? I thought you said tomorrow. No, we're going right now.
Don't like midnight releases.
See, that was weird because originally it was just going to be me and my friend Christian who went, and then we invited you and Alex.
And you guys couldn't give me a ride because
He already left because we told you
it
that.
was 9 o'clock. The
No,
midnight release
it
is
was-
at midnight.
It was 9:45. We got to the South Pole at
okay.
10.
Yeah, no, we literally showed up at 10, and these people walked up right as we did. We see
These
Megan and
people,
Colby
yeah.
and all of them come up. These
We're like,
people
we're pointing
gonna,
directly at Megan.
Yes.
we're just gonna go as a big group, and so we got a whole entire row in the front to ourselves.
In the
On
front.
the
That's
front.
Well,
No,
it was
not
already
in front.
way packed when we got there.
So it's really, really
and it was
silly.
the IMAX theater too. It
Yeah.
was huge.
So it's really silly, Colby and the rest of us. Like we were at Applebee's for dinner or whatever, and then
Chili's.
I'm sorry.
You guys didn't get a
They
reservation.
did not get a
No.
reservation.
I
For all
can't-
those listening at home.
We were
God.
literally there, like at the South Point, for like 4 hours before the movie even started.
We
Like,
showed up maybe 2 hours before, maybe, and then we went to IHOP immediately.
Yeah,
and
we're
then
like,
you guys were
immediately
almost
left.
late.
Oh yeah,
Really
and then we
hungry.
panicked a lot and drove as quickly as we could.
we ate so fast.
Oh my god, Alex normally eats like maybe one bite every 30 minutes, and he was just shoving things in his mouth like he normally does on his
Okay,
days
so
off.
anyway, back to The Hobbit. So it was a really good movie.
Oh, it was awesome.
Oh my god.
It was so good.
My favorite part, this is a little bit of spoilers, just in case we accidentally say anything.
John's
in the
plugging his
podcast.
ears. There are spoilers in this
No.
podcast.
Spoiling,
This is,
Megan.
no, this is not a spoiler.
Don't you dare
though.
spoil. I'll
My-
kick
my-
you in the knees.
My favorite. Well, I'm so sorry, guys. This book has been around for kind of a long time. So if you're getting spoiled by that, anyway, my favorite part was when the big fat dwarf was in the barrel.
Oh god, he became Barrel Dwarf and kicked everyone's ass.
Perfect 64 combo.
He did. He did.
He got an
multiple
S rank
barrels.
combo.
Yes.
on
he
that
got
hit?
multiple
And a
barrels.
super.
Actually, the voice acting for Smaug
Mhm.
and like all of his dialogue, I really enjoyed. I felt like he was like one of those dragons who wasn't like, "Roar, I'm a Dargan." He was like, "I am a sophisticated motherfucker."
Well,
I'm
it's not
pretty
like they're gonna
chill.
do that
By the
for
way,
The
this is
Hobbit.
my gold.
This is my gold. By the way, I'm gonna just breathe
Well,
fire.
have you guys read the book? Has
No.
anyone read the book?
I
half of
have
it.
I have
Just
forced myself to read a lot of the Lord of the Rings books.
Am I the only one that's read The Hobbit?
Half.
Oh my gosh. Okay, in the book, he was portrayed that way. Like he.
Oh, so
he-
they did pretty good.
Yeah, no, they did a really good job.
So, riddle me this, miss. I've read the book.
Oh no.
End of the
do that.
first movie.
Yes.
Why did the big birds just not fly them to the mountain?
That's-
Movie over!
I can answer that. Yay.
Can you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So in the book, the birds.
Well, let's explain the scene really quick.
They weren't
So
born yet.
okay. So the
Done and
birds.
done.
The birds took
Inception.
Gandalf and the crew on their backs to the edge of the forest and dropped them off and said, "We can go no further." Like literally, the whole reason why they couldn't is they cannot get close to the mountain. Like it's evil. The dragon will eat them. Like
But he's
No, the
sleeping
dragon
under
is
gold.
dormant
No, it's-
inside the dragon.
it's
Or
the
inside the mountain.
fear.
You
It's
can
the
sense
fear
the
of the
evils.
dragon.
Oh, okay, so
It's the
they're
fear of
just
the
scared of doing it.
Yes, they said we will take you this far. This is how far we're going to take you. No more. You are on your own.
But
That's-
at the same time, the eels did drop them on a giant spire that they had to climb down.
I mean,
They just
that-
don't know. Like, how the fuck did they get down?
That didn't happen in the book. That was
I know, but why
okay.
did they do
Yeah,
the movie?
summon
Just
a
drop them
giant
in the middle of a
black
huge
bird.
field. Just like, just like there's a mountain
Just-
over there.
Complete jerks.
Like, goddamn eagles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just don't understand why they couldn't elaborate on that in the movie because that, like, I literally left the movie and said they
That was a
could've just
disconnect for me.
got to
Yeah.
the mountain and game over.
No,
You know?
the whole point was that the Eagles and Gandalf had a deal that the Eagles would take them just so far because they would not go where the dragon is. They refused. It was the same thing in the Lord of the Rings movie. They wouldn't go to like any closer to Mordor than they had to.
I say you just cut the eagles out. They sound like a bunch of pansies.
Oh well.
So I'm assuming this one left off on a kind of like end note. To
It was a really good
Oh,
cliffhanger.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Like it wasn't like I was like so annoyed. Like, why would they end it here? I was like, oh my god, that's a beautiful way to keep
I
it wanting
know,
it.
but at the same time, I was like, oh, so cliche
I hear,
cliffhanger.
Oh, God, yeah.
I hear people are kind of upset about it.
Well, I'm only upset because he didn't fly out the mountain going, I'm a big ass fucking dragon. he hit some really lame dialogue thing or whatever.
I actually really think that it's,
Said, I am
it's-
fire, I am death.
Yeah, but that's like
Spoiler.
cliche dragon.
That's what he
I was
says.
excited for that.
Really,
part.
man?
I am dragon.
I am
I'm about
dragon.
to 28 days later, you.
Oh!
Don't
Oh,
call me out.
please don't.
So, Megan, me and you saw an awful movie. Or I thought it was awful.
Which one is this?
The Crybaby Games.
What?
What, Jared? Oh yeah,
I was just saying I saw it too because
did you?
that's something I actually did see that I could chime in
If,
on.
Oh, I
if,
remember
if
Hunger
the
Games.
listeners
Oh,
don't
the
know what the
Hunger
crybaby
Games.
goes, never mind.
Crybaby Games.
I'm
Oh god.
Okay, this is the same kind of deal. Half of the podcast didn't see the Hunger Games, the other half
Good.
did.
You guys
I
can
saw.
be
I
experts.
saw.
Spoil
the,
it, do it.
I saw the Hunger Games.
You never see a Hunger Games movie.
Why
Good
not?
man. I believe in
Oh,
that.
because that lady in your class.
Yeah, some lady said I was a hardcore anti-feminist because I haven't seen the Hunger Games yet.
What?
And she said, "Am I intimidated by strong female role models?"
Do you also approve of Nazis for not seeing war movies? Like, what the fuck?
No, those movies are good though.
Strong female role model. I'm all about Jennifer Lawrence being a strong
Ooh.
female
Yes.
role model.
Bam, baby!
Yep. Yeah.
Or anything with... Oh, no, never mind. That's a dude. Anyway.
Taylor Hanson?
But no,
Shannon has made that mistake many times. Oh wait, no, that's a guy.
but no, me and a friend of mine saw it, and we were... Because, I saw the first one, I was like, okay, it was a hit or miss for me, and it was kind of like they bunted the ball, and I was like, okay. And, me and him were really bored, and we were like, let's just go see the Hunger Games, because we've been hearing, really good things about it. Totally disappointed in the whole entire movie.
I'm gonna ask a question that I already asked. Did you read the books?
Absolutely not.
Okay, has anyone read the books?
No.
Do you think any of us
No,
read
we
anymore?
I still read, but I don't read.
Yeah, I don't read the
those
Hunger Games. I
books.
read Warhammer. That's about it.
Okay, yeah. I like the
sound
movie
like an
for
asshole.
being a movie,
Mhm.
but it just like any movie based off of a book didn't really do the books justice.
Right, but I went into the movie not knowing what the book was, so
Yeah.
I treated it like a standalone movie.
Right.
And me and my friend Christian, we both agreed that it was too much relationship intense. It wasn't like, oh my god, fight for survival. We had to do it because we're the old people who have to refight again, just because we're the new face of the uprising and blah blah blah. Too much.
You might as well just go watch Battle Royale.
So
Yeah. I'm the opposite of you. I really didn't like the first Hunger Games.
Mhm.
The camera work was the shittiest thing. It gave me headaches in the very the first Hunger Games where it's establishing where she's from, where Katniss is from. It's like a shitty little dump.
Mhm.
And when doing establishing shots, you don't go all everywhere handheld camera where it's zoomed in and shaky. It's terrible. You can't see what's going on, and it gives you a headache.
Mhm.
And this one actually had a steadier camera, and they knew what they were doing. It wasn't all just.
Well, not all of us are
garbage.
film experts, John. Some
Hey,
of us watched
That's
it
just
for
an
the movie.
observation. It gave me a headache. The first one did. The second one did not.
you didn't like Cloverfield? Is that-
Cloverfield was awesome,
Love
but
Cloverfield.
anyway.
My problem with The Hunger Games is it tries to be extremely climactic while being the most anticlimactic thing I've ever seen in my life. I just sit there and I'm like, oh, cool. Oh, yeah, that's going on. And my interest never peaked.
Yeah.
It just was...
Yeah, I can agree
There's a
with that.
plateau.
I just flatlined.
Yeah.
So something I want to go back to that you said, Shannon,
Mm-hmm.
was the fact that they did too much with the romance.
Mhm.
Honestly, the book was half about that because the whole point is that Katniss and Peeta are showing that they are lovers and they are getting married, and that's the whole point for
Mhm.
everyone else to watch them, because in the first and second districts and whatnot, they're really rich, and literally all they do is train for the Hunger Games, and they eat a lot of food, and they do rich people shit. I don't know.
Rich caviar and piss on
Yeah,
the not.
Buy cats.
but
I don't know.
so their form of entertainment is watching the Hunger Games and watching the people in the Hunger Games do their things, their everyday lives afterwards. And since Snow is down with Katniss, he wants her dead.
The
So,
president
yes,
of the...
Yes, he wants her
Yeah.
dead because she's starting an uprising, of course, as you can tell. But the romance has to be there and has to be for everyone else to believe in.
Mhm.
Otherwise, she's going down because the people will not, they don't believe her. If they don't believe her, everything goes to shit. That's why they put so much of the emphasis on the romance.
The Hunger.
romance.
I feel like the Hunger Games is less about kids killing each other, more political. Which
Yeah,
I
it is.
like.
No,
that.
I agree with you on
Yeah.
that one. My
It is.
my feel is that, and I don't I'm not a big fan of bashing movies, but sometimes it just has to be done. And
That's
I'm sure I feel as if that movie suffered from the last 15 minutes they rushed really heavily into. Because when I was watching the Hunger Games, it felt like they were trying really quickly to kill off all the other people who weren't on screen, And then like they were like, okay, we don't need this old lady, we don't need this dude, we don't need this dude, we don't need this dude. We can kill him really quickly so we can just get to the point we need to go.
They fell in a bear trap.
Well, it was so easy to do because all they had to do was, okay, we're gonna focus on these people and 8 cannon shots.
Yeah,
all right,
but
4 people left.
That's how it felt. Because like in the first movie, you got to experience everyone else killing each other. And I'm sure that's what the focus of the first movie was, to establish that the Hunger Games are kids killing each other.
Yes.
And then the second movie felt like, oh shit, that's a part of the movie. Okay, 8 cannons, really quickly, go. Boom, 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 boom,
That's
boom,
what
boom.
happened in the book too, because it's focused so heavily on like the political stuff and what was going on with Katniss and Peeta, and then of course Katniss's lover.
Like seeing it from that point of view, it makes way more sense. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I understand this is the other side of the story.
Yeah, it's supposed to be about the politicalness because
Okay.
literally in the first one, she began the uprising. The second one is all about people going, oh shit, this fucking sucks. The government is terrible,
Right.
and then actually doing the uprising.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes sense. The movies have to do it. Like the first movie's gonna be really, really awesome. The second movie's gonna be like, hey, here's all that important stuff that
You
not
need
that
to know
awesome.
for the third to come out. Okay.
Yes.
But it's
I
still
understand.
important, yeah. So like the third one will be like a balance of like, hey, a little bit of lame stuff. Here's the rest of the cool stuff.
I
Go,
won't,
go, 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 go,
I
go.
won't like spoil anything, but the third one is just the third book at least is really exciting. Like
Okay.
really, there's a lot. There's war. There's explosions. There's people
You gotta peek,
dying.
you gotta
like,
go down, you gotta go even
Now-
higher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was
That's-
I the only one who, when I first heard the Hunger Games, thought it was about zombies? Because I'm gonna feel really sad. I wasn't I?
You're
Shit.
alone. You're
Damn
alone.
it. I thought it was legitimately zombies.
No, I
thought
Sorry.
it was like a series about people trying to get food to the needy.
Hunger strikes.
The hunger
Like
strikes.
catching fire. Kind of like, where is this gone?
now they're on fire.
There's birds involved.
But so I saw on Mr. Jared's Facebook wall the other day.
yeah.
I've been waiting to talk
Oh,
about
my
this.
goodness.
The Godzilla trailers.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Oh
it's
my god!
about
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh god, it's super. Okay, Jared.
Okay,
Talk.
time to
Godzilla. Do it.
I don't even know what you want me to say.
Fucking the one that I recently, not that I recently saw, but the best trailer was the one with the
1 minute one.
the military men falling
Yeah,
out of the
the-
sky.
Yes.
Oh my god, my mind had like a brain fuck.
The thing about that is because it showed the art direction of the movie, which is literally, it fucking blew my mind. Like, I had to wear a helmet. It was terrible. I watched it numerous times over and over again, and
As did I.
my body is ready.
Oh, I'm so ready for this. I saw that, and like when they did the far off shot where you got to see the city in ruins,
And they're falling down.
and they're falling down.
Yeah.
I was like,
The red snow trails, everything that they're doing, just the detail that they're putting into this movie. Sorry, Matthew Broderick, I love you, but your Godzilla movie was trash.
Oh.
You've
See,
got
okay,
something
I don't
It was
understand. I'm gonna say
terrible.
I
It was
liked
awful.
the old Godzilla movie. I'm just gonna back away
Wait,
now.
Because you were eight when you saw it?
I was 8 when I saw it. Yes.
What, the
Fuck
2000 one or the old one?
I have no idea. The one that had
The
the dude
very
from Friends.
first one. Oh,
with the
no.
worms.
No.
The first American one.
I'm pretty sure. Well, will Kobe agree with you, or would he just like disown you for saying? That?
Well,
Because
Kobe
he
Cole
knows
would
was-
way
totally
more.
agree with me.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, no. We talk about how garbage that movie was. I mean,
Oh.
because
Everyone
they
talks
had-
about how garbage that movie
dude,
was.
for a week on Sci-Fi, they played that and then the first Hulk movie. We're gonna play the 2 worst movies possibly ever created on Sci-Fi every day.
Isn't that what
from
sci-fi
4
is
to 8.
for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Sharknado was amazing.
Oh god.
No,
Al, have
it
you
was-
seen? Have you
Yes.
seen these trailers?
Yeah, I saw the one where there's that hole where you conveniently like
The first
fall
one,
through.
the
Yeah,
first
Okay.
one.
I haven't seen that falling one.
Oh
but
god, it's so good.
it's funny how alike the old Hulk movie and the Godzilla one are, because it's at that time where they all wanted to use CG, but they weren't good at it. So it was just terrible. Like it didn't look very good.
Yeah, you're talking about this, how
Yeah.
early 2000s was very bad for movies. And I agree.
What they did to cover that up in those movies was barely show the main center of the movie. Like, hey, the Hulk, it's like a dark thing over there.
Are you kidding me? That's what the first trailer of the Godzilla thing was.
Yeah, but
they
I know,
barely showed it.
No, but I'm talking about the old Godzilla movie, like Godzilla 2000, where
Yeah.
it's in New York, and you barely see it. You see it
Yeah.
for like
You can hear it.
45 second screen time, but you see its babies.
Babies. The baby Godzillas were the best.
That was so dumb.
You're dumb.
Shut up.
Okay.
Oh.
That movie was terrible, and you're terrible.
That quote though from the
Man.
first trailer.
I am now become Death, the Destroyer of Worlds. Yeah.
God, I'm so ready for this movie. I just
Yeah.
want it all over my face and
See,
just.
I'm
Wow.
Dude, that Godzilla roar.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm I'm glad they kept the original.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
awesome.
very like iconic
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
You can't have Godzilla without Godzilla's iconic roar.
So we don't know what this movie's gonna be about. Like, it's just Godzilla.
No, it's gonna be about Godzilla.
Well, I know.
Actually, we were talking about this earlier, Jared.
I'm really nervous about it.
Let me cut in here. On the first preview, there's a part where you see another monster on the ground, where you first think it's Godzilla. I'm thinking this monster comes out and Godzilla shows America what's up.
It's like, so, bro, I got you back. I'm gonna destroy the shit out of New York.
Yeah.
I got you back. It's cool.
Yeah,
Got you back, bro. This is what has to happen. Okay.
Because Alex and I talked about how the last Godzilla movie was more about the people than the actual monster. If this
Absolutely,
one's
I
just
do
about-
agree with that
If
point.
this one's just about Godzilla beating the shit out of the monster, then I'm totally gonna go see
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm really nervous because after the first trailer, I'm like, this is really awesome. But then after the second trailer, I like the art direction, how you were saying, but it was just like, I hope it's not about like the people and working out Godzilla's
But
situation.
I think that's the thing that you have to deal with because like the second one with the troops falling down, they show you like they're like, okay, this is the scenario that is happening in New York City. I think that's got to be a part of the Godzilla thing.
It's got to be a part
You
of it.
can't just be like, oh hey, New York destroyed. All right, moving on.
No, I understand that, but like, well, you were saying something, Alex. I'm sorry.
No, go.
John, just finish
All
your
right.
statement.
I understand what you're saying. That it has to be a part of it, but I hope they don't make it the main part of it, which I really hope they don't do, because that it'll just turn into the next 2001.
I was thinking that would be funny that it turns into like the old Godzilla movies where
That-
everyone's
yes.
friends with them and they're like, Godzilla's coming! Godzilla's like, what's up? I'm here.
I'm gonna fight you, Mecha King Ghidorah, and baby Godzilla out there.
That would make me so happy.
Oh man, I showed my little brother the trailer and he was like asking questions about Godzilla and I got so excited because I knew all this stuff. And he was like, doesn't Godzilla like breathe fire and stuff? I'm like, no, he shoots a nuclear blast out of his mouth.
Yes.
That's Godzilla's superpower because he shoots nuclear energy instead of fire. And he was like, whoa.
You said King Ghidorah, so this is completely off topic. We, where I work, we had an issue with our air conditioner, so they brought air conditioner, like another one that you came in, the plug in the walls, like industrial heavy duty. We put 3 tubes and put them around the warehouse in the back and put a picture of King Ghidorah on it. Done. That is out.
No, I'm since we're on the topic of new movies that are being announced, what are you guys excited for? Alex, you got anything?
Nothing but Godzilla.
Nothing but Godzilla? John?
New movies that are coming out.
Yeah,
I'm
like what are you excited to go and see?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, I agree 110%. That movie looks fucking good.
It's the new Martin Scorsese movie, and Jonah Hill looks really
That-
good in it.
That what is it? The trailer for it is really good. Where they do the fist pumping to the
Yeah,
chest
Matthew
and then do the song. Yeah,
Matthew McConaughey has been in a lot of good movies recently, like that movie and Texas Buyers Club.
I did not hear about Texas Buyers Club.
Like
Okay.
it's like Oscar worthy for him. And like
Really,
the
it's
first one-
Oscar worthy, and I know
It's about a rodeo guy in the mid '80s who just has crazy life because he like has sex, drugs, and
Oh, I heard
alcohol.
about this.
sex, drugs,
And
rock and
he
roll.
gets HIV,
Okay, go on.
and he's like really like fucked up about this. He's like, God damn it! So he goes down to Mexico, and they have this drug that helps with the HIV, but it's not FDA approved, but it's helping him.
Mhm.
So he takes all the like as much of that drug as possible.
As
Smuggles
much
it
as
into-
I thought you meant like at once. He was like, all these pills in my mouth.
he smuggles it into the U.S. and is selling it to people with HIV under
Fucking.
and it's really good from what I hear.
What are you excited for?
300.
Oh god!
Oh,
Give me your body.
Wait.
Oh, dude. When we saw that trailer, this was me and Alex during that trailer. Just all over each other. We
We're
were.
at the moment hugging.
Oh my, dude, it looks so good. I don't care what anybody says. That first 300 movie was golden.
Yes.
I say that again because I have really good memories of seeing that with my dad because that was the first thing. That was the first movie me and him saw when he came back from Iraq. We saw that and me and him were like, dude, bro, 5, this movie's fun. And there were boobies, and I got to see that. Me and my dad were like, ha, boobies. It was really good. But yes, I totally agree.
I
Ow.
saw that movie with my dad too, and I could feel his discomfort. And we walked out, and he was like, I was like, "What do you think of the movie?" And he's like,
Oh my god, you want to talk about
terrible.
discomfort? Me and my dad, my stepmom, my 9-year-old sister, my grandma and grandpa saw Step Brothers together.
Oh.
I'm gonna put my balls on the drum set.
I could
Do
beat you.
it.
Yeah.
Do it, bitch.
My mom took me and my friend when we were 13 to see Old School. If you want to talk about discomfort, that was discomfort.
You don't get a choice in this, Alex. You stay there.
My dad and I went to the movie theaters to see 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I think I can top all of that.
No,
I went to the movie.
porn store, though.
The porn store is the best part of that whole movie.
I thought I was going to die.
Or when he tries to jack off.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, Dad.
Oh.
You gotta go.
I think I can top all of that. Have you guys seen Black Swan? There's a lesbian scene. in there.
Awesome.
I was on with my
I watched
dad.
that with my mom.
You did
And
an extra
all the
high
time.
five.
No, here's because my dad's really bad with like sex situations like,
Oh, is
in
he?
movies. So he's just like, god damn it.
I can totally see your dad doing that.
Yeah, and I was like, damn it, Dad.
Alright, apparently since we're on this topic, Alex.
No, wait, no. What are you excited for, Ralph? Movies.
Godzilla and Wolf of Wall Street, same, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good
you, Jared?
Well, I'm gonna have to contradict what Shannon was saying earlier about the first 300. I did not care for it.
Yeah,
it was
shut up.
completely
It was awful.
overhyped for me.
I agree.
Terrible.
Completely overhyped. I didn't think it was
But
terrible.
They
I don't
in
like it.
The fucking
They can hug in the shade. They can
Listen,
hug in the shade.
Were you not impressed by their physique?
I kind of went gay for about 2 hours in that movie, but
Good.
it's okay.
Good.
Gerard fucking Butler.
But yeah, no, I-
Nipples of steel.
that
Oh.
movie was
Even though that was
Butler
all
is
CGI.
amazing. But
Shut the fuck
The
up.
what?
Did you
Gerard
see
Butler
his
is
workout?
amazing, but that's probably his worst movie in life.
No, Gamer is his worst movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Gamer.
that-
Or the fucking love story movie that he was in with
Oh yeah.
that bitch.
That
You
made
didn't
me
like
that
cry.
waffle scene?
I love
Of course
that
it made you
movie.
cry. Jared, what are you excited for?
I'm-
Tell us movies.
I'm gonna say the new 300. I do love the art direction. I think the way that everything is being shot now and the way they're doing it is, not necessarily game breaking, but it's kind of like when the first 300 came out. Like the art direction was awesome. I couldn't get into the story as much. Everyone said it was too epic, and it didn't pull that in for me like it was supposed to.
Mhm.
Also, Spider-Man 2.
All right, well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go over here now. Sorry, Gabe.
How about
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the new Spider-Man movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, dude, I can't do Spider-Man anymore. Like that series is just dead to me.
I
I have liked every Spider-Man movie I've seen, but after I look back at them in the past, I'm like, that was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But like at the time, like it's like, oh, it's Spider-Man, it's cool.
Alex,
Stone?
what you got?
I just thought of something that I am totally excited for that I totally forgot about like 5 minutes ago. The new RoboCop movie.
No.
No.
No,
Yes.
absolutely not.
No.
You might as well
they
say you're ready for the new Ninja Turtles 2.
Okay, hold on.
They're using the same mask.
No, I'm so ready for like a re-envisioning of RoboCop.
No, thanks.
I love RoboCop, but I'm glad that they're doing it in a new era.
Okay, can I cut you off for a second?
Do it.
So, do you guys know that they are going to remake The Crow?
What?
Apparently, they're trying to cast Bradley Cooper for it, from what I understand. I'm just going to throw that out there because you want to say something about RoboCop.
The Crow?
I said earlier that this has been like a good time for movies. That is not true entirely because it's the era of remakes.
Mhm.
Oh
I am
god, there's
No,
so many.
tired of
okay.
remakes.
I disagree that I think it's a great time for movies. There's been
I know,
remakes all the
said,
time.
I said it's a great time for movies, but there's a bad part to it, and that's all the remakes.
That's true,
Really
but
stick
there's-
with the remakes.
I remember we're in a Skype call, me and you and Alex, and I think you were there too.
I might have been.
And our friend Dylan was saying that this was a terrible season for movies, and everyone was agreeing.
Dylan also said he'd be happy to see a remake of Happy Feet. We're gonna believe everything that Dylan says.
You can't remake that classic.
So we really want to believe what Dylan has to say
That's true, but like everyone was agreeing with him, and I'm like, no,
about Happy Feet?
no, how this is a terrible movie season.
No, it's been pretty decent,
It's
but
been-
I'm gonna go with Alan. Said there's way too many remakes. But then again, I think that's kind of like that's kind of like the dark side of the moon that you get with this kind of that kind of shit. I don't know what the words I'm looking for. When it comes to like movies or TV shows, there's always gonna be a rehash of something
Mhm.
because I guess as the old saying goes, originality's dead. Either way, so I'm not surprised that there's a lot of remakes, but there have been a whole like a bundle of just remakes coming out the ass this season.
That's true,
Like
but
all of 2013, remake, one movie, remake, like sequel to a remake of a movie. Oh god.
I don't know, but like there's like some really really cool movies coming out. Like November came out, which is about not November. What am I thinking? Nebraska came out, which is about this old senile alcoholic guy who thinks that he's won $1 million and he has to go to
Why are you talking
Nebraska.
bad about my grandpa?
Because this is a good movie.
John
And-
likes those really obscure ones.
It's not even obscure.
No, you do. You absolutely do love obscure movies.
I've
You
never-
watch like all the underground indie Sundance Festival kind of movies.
Nebraska, it looks fucking awesome.
How have we gotten to this topic and not talked about Anchorman 2?
Damn it.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's not out
It's
yet.
not
I
out
haven't
yet.
seen it.
Like that. What? I'm super
I'm not
fucking
the
hyped
only
for
one.
that movie. Yeah.
I'm gonna see. Hell yeah.
God, why have we not? I feel like a dirty slut. We just cheated on them.
Oh no.
Oh no, I got
I'm
the.
so
Are
sorry.
you excited for Anchorman 2?
Why wouldn't I be?
Good. Why did you not speak up? This is all Jared's fault. This
Jared,
podcast has gone to shit. This podcast gone to shit. Jared, you didn't bring up
Get out.
Anchorman 2.
Hey,
Get out!
I brought Godzilla to the table.
You did for Godzilla, and apparently all of New York.
Yeah.
Thanks, guy. God damn, I'm
Whoa.
still excited for that fucking movie.
I know,
I'm
dude.
still really moist for that movie.
It's okay.
Well, wait, what was it
Bundle
that
up.
John said
Bundle it
earlier?
up.
Hmm?
How can something so cold-blooded get me so hot?
This is after our shit cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
God
am I-
damn.
The worst coffee I've ever had.
We were waiting in a line at Starbucks, and everyone was
After we got our shit
saying, after
coffee,
shit coffee,
We
and
threw it away.
off into simultaneously.
everyone was saying Godzilla, like how they made him so hot. And I said that.
We're sitting in a we're standing in a public Smith's talking about how ready our bodies are for fucking Godzilla.
As you like jump up and down, go back and forth, and almost knock his grandma over.
Yeah.
Listen, she got into my line of sight of being really moist for Godzilla.
We should have put out that wet spore sign.
Caution, Chandon's wet.
Okay, so what do we have on the list there? We have bad movies to talk about?
Woo,
Oh,
let's talk
God.
about some
The
bad...
Room.
Let's talk about good bad movies.
Good
The
bad
Room.
movies?
The
Okay.
Cube.
Oh, I love
yes.
Cube.
Jelly
Good
beans.
bad movies?
Jelly beans.
Oh,
Okay,
it was
Go-
so
go
good.
into
Cabin in the Woods.
So cute.
Cabin in the Woods.
No.
is
Okay,
bad.
no, Cabin in the
Okay.
Woods was awesome.
It
No.
was super awesome.
I will
It was
forever.
a cool last scene. I didn't really care for all of it either.
What was,
I thought
the
you
scene,
said-
what was the scene then?
The last scene is like Cabin in
Spoiler.
the Woods was spoiler alert. The entire cabin was like a government protocol kind of thing, like where they're testing or whatever and sending out like monsters that they have in little holding cells, and they get under there and they release all the monsters, and it's like literally
It's
every
mayhem, yeah.
monster you can think of killing things, and it's really rad.
So
Even-
that, you like the
even-
end of the movie.
Not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
monsters. There was a unicorn.
It's
The
not a
unicorn
very good
impaled
movie.
somebody.
He
Yeah.
slashed the guy to death.
Yes.
Listen, you can't spoil a movie that is free streaming on Netflix. I think at that point you're kind of just shit out of luck.
Netflix exists,
Yeah.
accept
I
spoilers
have
for what
not
they
seen
are.
that movie.
You know what I
Unicorns.
Surprise.
Watch it.
Mermaids.
It does everything.
God, I'm gonna die without seeing a mermaid. Good, they're
It
fucking
does
messy.
everything it
Oh
can
my
to make
God.
itself
That's
a
the-
generic. Like it does everything it can to make itself a generic horror movie, but
Mhm.
that's kind of the charm because it's not generic.
That's what it was meant
It's
to be.
making
It's like,
it a generic movie because that's the entire plot of those people who are like testing on them.
exactly. It's just like the story behind all generic movies.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
hey, we're a bunch of teenagers going into a cabin. Oh no, zombies! No.
the best
Wait.
scene,
Channing Tatum.
the best scenes are
No.
the testing people like talking about what's happening.
Oh, then I was starting to
Yeah.
place a bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking maintenance won this year
Yeah.
again.
I know with redneck zombies. I liked the scene of all the little Japanese girls in the schoolroom with the ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then like singing, they turn him into what, a fucking frog.
Yeah,
What
they
the
put the
fuck?
spirit into a frog.
Yeah.
Like the evil spirit is trapped inside the tiny frog.
God, Japan always fucking wins. There's always next year, man. There's always next year.
I really like that movie because even the trailers just showed it as a generic horror movie.
See, I thought it was. I didn't see any trailers. I only saw like the posters every time I went to South Florida, and I was like, man, I should really go and see this movie. Never happened. Recently watched it. Very disappointed.
As I saw it in theaters, I laughed the whole time, and as Al said, the best scenes are when they have the maintenance people, not the maintenance people, but just the people that are running it, because it explains everything like for these movies. Because two people go out in the woods, all of a sudden this fog comes out, but the fog's really some sort of scent that makes them want to get down, and all of a sudden the zombies come. It's hilarious.
Sex fog. It's sex fog.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Like
walk
it's-
around inside the house. It's like, all right, let's just go together. And the thing opens up and like sprays gas in space. Like, no.
No, we should split up. Everybody go outside.
Yeah.
Everybody
Pants
go
off.
outside.
I like the scene where he's trying to jump the
He's trying to jump the ridge and he fucking lands
He
straight into
hits
the
the
force
force
field.
field.
Yeah.
Dear
It's like,
God,
damn.
that was so fucking funny.
I
And the
think
people were like, they frantically panicked as I'm laughing and pissing
Yes.
myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like, dear God, no one, not Jimmy. And I'm like, fucking Jimmy's a dumbass.
All right, anyway, we got way off topic for
Fuck
bad
you, it was
movies.
funny.
That was just a
Bad
good
movies.
movie.
That was bad.
Sir, it was a good
Apollo, what was
No, That
Oh,
was a decent movie.
No,
it
it
wasn't.
Don't you dare!
You're gonna say Cabin in
Space
the Woods
Rocks!
was not, and then you're gonna go with that? Really? That's what's gonna happen?
I remember watching it with Alex.
No Space
I
Rocks.
remember watching
Space
it with
Rocks.
Alex for the first time.
We
he
were
was
there
like,
too.
the
Horrified.
monster is really stupid. I was just thinking back in my head, like, oh, it's gonna be like the Rocks or something. It was the Rocks.
The entire time, because I was there too, the entire time we were talking about like what it could be like. Oh, I bet the ship's the bad guy. And, yeah.
No, it's the entire moon.
It's the moon.
the
moon
entire
is the
moon is
bad
an
guy.
alien.
And I hate it. Like at the end, it's like we brought so many rocks back to Earth. And it's like, oh no!
That was the
Oh,
biggest
wrong.
cliffhanger ever.
I thought it was funny when he takes off in the ship and he's like, all right, I'm out. And the rocks float up and he's like, no!
That was not
They go up to like eye level and he panics.
I've never been so scared to see floating rocks in all my life.
Oh
Watch
my
this movie
god.
tonight.
Megan, do you have a bad movie?
I like everything.
Oh,
Okay,
Well,
Megan,
okay,
what's-
wait. Oh,
Come
God,
on.
I had it. I forgot it. Hold on. You guys.
All right, we'll go back to
We
it.
don't
Yeah,
know.
come
We
back.
can't read your Brian.
My Brian.
Not how this works.
The brain.
Do you want us to come back to you,
Come
Megan?
back to me.
Okay. Al, do you have a bad movie?
It's a bad movie, but I love it.
Oh,
and
God.
It's The Room.
Yeah.
We talked about The Room.
The
You've
Room
never
is
seen The Room?
great.
It's
so
Tommy Wiseau or Tommy Wiseau or something. He made like a movie, like he paid for it all himself. Like made a movie, and it was supposed to be like a really dark, romance kind of thing, like really sad. But it turned out like really hilariously funny because how bad the acting and like even the setting is terrible. Like there's a picture frame, and inside the picture frame is a picture of a spoon. It makes no sense, and the entire movie doesn't make sense. And then he wrote it off as a black comedy.
Yeah.
A spoon?
No,
Yeah,
I would picture from a spoon in a heartbeat.
Well, like
You
the,
fucking me?
the
Yeah, I
main
would.
the
That's what
director
I'm doing
is
for
also the main
Christmas.
A spoon
character.
in a
And
best Christmas gift ever.
The director is super Italian, and he has such a heavy accent, and he's trying to speak English, and it's just not working at all, and it's so funny.
I did not touch her. I didn't.
I
Go
did.
ahead, Mark. That is a quote from the movie.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds.
I did
Look it
not.
up. I did not.
So I can't think of a good bad movie, but I can think of a bad movie that I was really excited for, and I was like really let down when I
The
went
Hunger
to see
Games.
it. No.
Is
The
it
third
Failed high
Riddick.
five.
Well, you
All
shouldn't
the
be
Riddick
surprised.
movies are
You
bad.
should.
I loved
You mean
Pitch Black.
Pitch Rain?
Yeah,
Pitch
Pitch
Black
Rain.
is
Pitch Rain. It was like ridiculous. I did not like it. It was just a remake of Pitch Black, and when they added rain and water. And
It was like
They added rain
I think Riddick,
and water.
I think Riddick's a rad character. I just think
Yeah.
anything Vin Diesel touches is kind of bad.
The only
I
part
like
turns the ball.
about Riddick that I don't understand is when he got control of the fucking Ghost Army. How come he doesn't use the Ghost Army ever?
That, I just
Like
the
he
whole-
sat down on the throne and he's like, I guess you keep what you earned or some shit like that.
Ovid.
And he's never used the Ghost Army ever.
I thought that the third movie was gonna be amazing. He was finally the whatever the thing was, like he was the big King Kahuna guy. I thought
Finally
there
the
was gonna
dude.
be freaking awesome shit happening, and like just like the second, like the Chronicles of Riddick, I thought there was gonna be like big flying ships and he was gonna go around and do a whole bunch of shit. No, literally just a copy paste of the fucking Pitch Black.
This movie was recent, right?
Yeah.
That was that a remake?
No, it was the
No.
third in the,
It was a
in the, in
continuation,
the
yeah.
yeah.
It's
Because it was
another
like
installment
it was a
of the movie.
very similar like premise to Point or Pitch Black.
It was
No,
almost,
that's
that's
why
my
everyone was disappointed.
yeah, that's why I was really, really disappointed in the movie because literally, like, the only difference is that he had a dog in the new one. Like, that's it.
There's a
Bark,
And-
bark,
And
motherfucker.
the monsters also came out of the ground though. They came out of the ground in both movies.
What's with dogs in horror movies?
You ever feel really sad for them where you're just like, fucking
Yeah.
just
Like-
die. Go away.
Like the dog in what's it?
I Am Legend.
Yeah, I'm Legend.
Oh
that was a
my
bad, that
God.
made me cry my
Yeah.
Don't
It's-
even
Yeah.
bring
There's
that up.
only two dog. No, there are three dog deaths that I don't like. That one, the Paranormal Activity one, and the VHS2 one.
Oh my god.
That one was sad as fuck.
No.
Damn feels.
You know,
The Paranormal Activity one, I didn't have to see it, but the VHS2 one was. You watched
Yeah.
it the whole time, and I was like,
Yep.
no, and then it fucking makes the noise. Cause
But then they have the camera on the dog.
yeah,
And
the
you're
whole
like-
as he's whimpering. I cried onto Alex's shoulder.
Yeah, we were watching it together. We both cried a little
We
bit.
like
feels.
we were like, oh god, shit, is he gonna take the dog into the spaceship? And I was totally fine with the dog getting killed by the aliens.
Like,
But
tractor
the fucker
beam
dropped it.
Dropped him. Like,
and the camera's attached to the dog, so you watch the dog, and it smacks on the ground, and it's just a face shot of the dog whimpering. That's the end of that particular part of the movie.
Oh my god.
Alex is already tearing up.
It's terrible.
It was bad. He whimpers for like a solid 30
when you
seconds.
guys brought up dogs, I was just like all through this like sad dog talk, I was just thinking of Independence Day and like when the family's running through the tunnel and like the dog almost gets destroyed by the explosion, but he's like
destroyed, not killed, destroyed.
He like jumps like into a safe area and like the explosion goes up behind him and it looks so stupid because the dog's so happy looking. It's just and he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the dog scene on Legend, like someone, like my friend was like, they're gonna kill the dog right now, and I like covered my eyes and like covered my ears because I didn't want to hear it, and I still heard the whine.
Oh.
And I walked out of that movie like fucking mad.
Yeah.
Dude, you could kill a million cats and I wouldn't feel shit. You kill a dog, even if it's a shitty dog, I'm sad.
And like the entire movie was exposition of them hanging out together like, in the bathtub and stuff.
I like the fact that they killed the dog in I Am Legend.
I do too, but I didn't mean I liked it.
Well, I mean, I didn't like it, but I'm glad that it happened because it was such like an emotionally like impactful scene, and I was like, fuck, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
It just happened to me that I was like, oh, why'd they kill the dog? I hate it when they do that.
Yeah.
It's so. I think it's really important if you're gonna make anything, whether it's a video game, a TV show, or a movie, that you kill something really important to the viewers.
Kill something that they love.
Yeah, no, because it makes an emotional connection to that particular show.
And in a really terrible way.
Yeah. So like it gives you like that feeling of fuck, man. I watched this whole movie
just because of that,
and this dog is dead. And then like the whole rest of the movie is like, fuck, if the dog were here right now, shit would be different.
Maybe I would have been less depressed after the ending of Avatar: Last Airbender if one of them died.
Nothing could save that movie.
No,
nothing.
Not the movie, the TV series.
Oh, okay. I was like, that movie is that was the one I was gonna suggest for bad movies. Yeah,
nice.
I was gonna say Avatar.
I have not seen that movie.
Good.
I really
want
to.
Yourself lucky.
It's a hidden gem. It's kind of.
It's not it's not ass. It's a hidden gem.
It's not a tattoo. It's just bedazzled on.
Alright, Al, have you given your good bad movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Cube.
What is the Cube? I don't know.
Everyone doesn't know the Cube. The Cube is a giant floating thing in space. And
It is
it's
a
nothing,
giant maze.
Yeah, it's a giant maze, and it's nothing but rooms. And these rooms are cubes. So you have different entrances and exits, all this other thing. However, these rooms are not just rooms, they are death rooms. Yes.
Rooms of death?
I'm going to leave it at that, because that's all you really need to know about the Cube to know how amazing it is.
It's so good.
Is it on Netflix?
My
I don't think
favorite
so. No.
trap room was the crossfire lasers.
Yes,
Yes.
done.
Dude,
Done.
you just got Cube in 0
So, we actually had a Cube marathon one night. We rented Cube 0, Cube, and Cube 2 and just marathoned it.
Yes.
There are 3 of these movies.
Yes.
I regret nothing.
Tonight.
Regret nothing.
Cube 0, Cube. Yes. Just how that sounds.
Do you think Blockbuster will have it? Because I'm totally down for going.
Oh,
I'm sure they probably
We're gonna make a mass exodus over there right now.
So good.
Speaking of the last time I went to a Blockbuster, do you remember that smell?
Oh, we just went in there, and the first thing me, John, and Alex said were, "God, I really."
butts.
Oh, so we go in there, and we're like, because you know how Blockbuster is selling everything.
Yeah.
Like, so me and Alex were like, man, we should just buy a ceiling panel. Somebody already did.
Somebody beat us.
There's
to
a
it.
missing
Really?
ceiling panel just sitting in the Blockbuster right
I
now.
want that.
I can use one of those.
God, poor Blockbuster.
All right, Jenna, what's your favorite bad movie? Or good bad movie?
I don't have one. I'm going to say bad movie, Avatar. I saw that and I was like,
Last Airbender?
Fair enough.
Yeah, please differentiate, because I actually kind of like
I did not like the Blue people either.
Yeah, sure.
They only made
That
a
would
movie
actually be
so
my
people
good
could-
bad movie. I think it's bad, but it's like I see how it's good. You know what I mean? I didn't personally enjoy it, but I can see why people like it.
They
It's
only
on
made
TV
that
in
movie
Australia.
to be.
You saw that in
visually
Australia.
Yeah.
To be visually appealing?
Oh,
Yeah.
In
Well,
like 3D
that was
and
the whole
stuff,
point.
and like all the Australians
Is it?
were just like, "Oh, this movie's nuts." Like,
Might.
because the movies come out a little bit slower there. Not anymore, but that when I went to go see it, it didn't happen. Like,
They're
they got
pretty
it-
slow.
They got it like 3 weeks later or something like that. I saw it in 3D, and everyone in the crowd was like, "Oh, that was amazing."
Might.
Yeah, and then me and my dad left, and we were like, "That was alright."
Okay, so, sorry, I didn't mean to cut off. Speaking of Avatar, if you take the plot of Pocahontas and you
Oh,
change
it's
around the
exactly-
names,
Yeah, exactly. It's the
Same
same
exact
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Okay, my favorite good bad movie.
Except, I just want to make a comment
Except
about Avatar.
Pocahontas doesn't have sex with their Tails.
That we know.
You don't know that.
The guy who comes in
Hair
Pocahontas
tails.
doesn't turn into an Indian.
I'm one of you. I'm one of you.
He tried, but he went back on his fucking canoe.
Okay, sorry, Alex. I just want
Okay,
to say
my
that.
favorite good man movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Suburbia. It's also my mom's favorite
yeah.
movie.
What?
No, it's like a movie from the 1970s of a bunch of like rebellious punk teenagers that live in foreclosed
Do they
homes.
use angst?
Yes. They live together in this like abandoned house, and it's like the house. And that's where all the punk kids go, and they go and steal food from people's open garages and live together.
Who keeps food in their fucking garage?
No, because
fridges in
people
the
with
garage.
fridges in their garage and like freezers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like they break into this guy's house, they beat him up, and they take all of the stuff out of his garage and get in this like broken down car and drive off, like leaving a trail of smoke behind them.
That's pretty funny.
It is so great, but it's one of my favorite movies, and it gets to me because there's this part at the end. I'm not gonna spoil it. It's so
Okay, so I don't mean to interrupt you, Alex, but Jared just handed me his phone with 14 awesomely bad horror movies available on Netflix instantly.
the
Oh,
first
God.
one I see Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Is in there. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that movie.
So who
That's
knows what
much.
we're doing tonight now?
Absolutely. Hell
Dear
yeah.
God, these are just awful. Killer Clowns.
Killer
It's not
Clowns is
good.
awesome.
It's so good.
How have we not
Yeah.
talked about the ABCs of Death?
Oh,
my
I've still
God.
not seen that. I keep begging you guys to show me, but you won't.
It's
Oh,
Children of the
man.
Corn.
I won't see
Oh my
that.
God, this was awful.
Wait, what?
Children of the Corn was so fucking bad.
Can we
Wasn't
watch
there, like,
Pet
a second?
Cemetery?
Oh no, we should not
Please.
watch
Children of the
Pet
Corn, the one where like
The children in the corn.
Cemetery.
wait, no, that
Did you
wasn't
say
a
that?
terrible of a horror movie.
God.
There's only one Children of the Corn.
Chan
The
got
original-
so
there's like
excited,
four of
he
us.
spit
Oh,
everywhere.
God.
The original one's not bad.
All the continuations. are
Scream,
terrible.
Blackula, scream. Oh God, I'm so done. I'm leaving. I'm just gone.
We should bring up ABC's of Death, though.
Oh, dude, talk about it.
God
ABC's
damn.
death. So it's this movie that you, Kevin, and Al have been telling me about,
Oh.
where it's multiple different film directors have a letter of the alphabet, and they have to create a form of death based on the letter of the alphabet.
There's one. Is it D? Where it's like the dogfight?
Yep, that's the one.
What the
Okay,
fuck did they use for Z and
That
X?
entire scene
So-
was in
Z
slow
was
motion.
amazing.
What was it?
Z was like the most
Xylophone?
anti.
That's
That's
X,
X.
buddy.
Fuck, okay. Good job.
Z,
Man, I'm such a good English major.
Z was something in Japanese. Like there's some Japanese directors who got away with it by saying something in Japanese and then translating it at the bottom.
Mhm.
And Z was the most anti-Semitic Japanese thing I've ever seen in my life. There was 9/11 on a chick's boobs.
Oh my god, that was so. It
There was
was.
the Twin Towers on one of her breasts and a airplane on the other breast, and she was swaying them. So it looked like they were slamming into each other. And then there was another one on some girl's butt, but I couldn't remember what it was.
I don't
It was a
remember.
tsunami, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Against Japan, yeah. It was so funny.
There's one where it was like the dog fight, where a guy had to fight a dog to the death, and like it was like Fight Club but with animals and dogs and people.
What?
And like this guy was beating on this dog as the dog was like biting him in the neck, and it's all in slow motion. And then like the guy looks at the tag of the dog,
Because it's like embedded
And
in
then,
his
like-
fist at this
and
point.
then he looks up at the dog, and their eyes meet. They stop fighting, and it realizes that it's his old dog, and so
Oh,
they
no.
kill everybody.
Okay, so I just have to talk about this. Jared handed me his phone again. One of the movies is called Axe Giant: The Wrath of Paul Bunyan. Got a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is the synopsis. Apparently, this movie takes place at an outdoors camp for first-time offenders or something. That is not important. What is important is that this movie takes an affable character from one of the greatest telltales of all time and turns him into a murderous psychopath. Who wouldn't want to watch a CGI character from 1993 take out a group of sexy delinquents? And it's a picture of this dude putting his fist into a girl's vagina. And that's what it fucking looks like. His hand is like underneath his
It's not.
It looks like it.
His hand is on there. It's just in the shadow.
Oh, whatever. It's the same
God,
fucking
man!
thing.
It's a YouTube trailer.
I've seen some. Have you ever been to the weird side of YouTube, sir?
No.
Good.
I watched all of a Serbian film on YouTube.
I want to see that movie.
No, you don't.
Yes, I
No,
do.
you don't.
I
No.
really do. It's
Is that
on my
a movie?
list.
No, a Serbian film.
Dude, that's weird because
Moving
like
on.
there's been some like
Yeah.
Wait,
Let's watch it. I haven't seen it.
a Serbian film?
Yeah.
Do you know what it's about?
An insane
I don't care what
horror.
it's about. but
No,
we'll see it.
it's gore porn.
It's all.
Is that the
horror.
black and white movie?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. There's one movie on YouTube that I randomly came across, and it's black and white, that I found on 4chan. I know, it's terrifying. But, like, I found it on 4chan, and it was probably the most uncomfortably disturbing movie I've ever seen in my whole entire life, and I wish I could remember the name.
It's not the Grifter, is it?
I don't know. I don't think it
Grifter's
is.
The
one
human
where
centipede
that guy's
too.
like walking like.
I didn't see the second one, but I saw
Oh,
the
where he
first
puts the
one.
needle into the thing?
Yeah.
I saw that on YouTube, too. That's creepy.
That's the Grifter. Right?
First time I saw that, terrified.
But no, this movie, it's like supposed to be like this biblical interpretation of stuff, but happening in like, I want to say like the 1700s, and it's really creepy because there's just like like 15, 20, 25-minute scenes of just them looking at a corner of a room, and it's all in black and white with just this lady hunched over in the corner of the room, and you don't see anything else for like 25 minutes, and it's really like I think it's only like a 45-minute film. It's really uncomfortable.
I really
Really uncomfortable.
like creepy other than like scare out and horror.
No, it was uncomfortable.
That's
Like,
how
I
I
did
think-
not feel comfortable in my room.
That's how I think horror should be. Like just
Yeah.
make you completely uncomfortable.
That's
And
how
just-
I-
jumping shit.
Yeah,
That's
I
how I
hate
felt
that.
with the Serbian film. I was like, oh my god.
That's
why am
great.
watching
I
this?
want to see that. though.
I got half an hour into it. I'm like, I'm this far. I'm gonna finish it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
I heard about the end scene, and I was just like, yeah. It piqued my interest. I almost wanted to see it to say that I've seen it, and then I realized I really don't want to see it, but I still kind of want to see it.
Dang it, now I have to
So-
write this down because now I want to see
A
it.
cheap jump scare doesn't stay with you because you can get over it, but like real creepy horror stays with you.
Stay-
for a
yeah.
long
But
time.
that movie that you're talking about, the one with the dude with the mask, and when he
Grifter.
looks up, oh god, I remember having nightmares for that for fucking weeks.
What's it
dude.
called?
I think it's called the Grifter.
The Grifter?
It's some like
I was on 4chan and there was that GIF and it's like, oh, what's that from? Oh, that's the Grifter, and it's the one.
It's the scene of a girl close to the camera. She's got tape over her mouth and she's crying, and it's like a security camera footage. And from
And
the
in the
background,
background-
in the
oh,
dark,
God.
is a man walking on all fours,
Very
and his
flexible.
fingers are extended out because there's needles on them, and he's wearing a big long Venetian mask. And he
and on
walks
top of
up
that is another mask.
very
Yeah.
slowly next to her and lifts up, and there's another mask underneath, and takes the needles and puts them into her neck.
Oh.
Was that the Grifter or was that the Poughkeepsie tapes?
That's what that
The
was.
Poughkeepsie
Yeah.
tapes. Yeah, that was, yeah.
dude, I found that on 4chan and clicked on the link that was available, and I watched that specific part and could not watch the rest.
What's the Grifter then?
Grifter is something else.
Alright, 'cause
4chan
it
has-
it was
you-
like a
you-
creepy thread.
You look for the right place on 4chan, and you get like those like weird underground.
You'll scare yourself.
Scary movies. They're legit scary as fuck. Like especially that one movie I was just talking about. Oh god, I don't like. That's a movie I will not watch again because of how uncomfortable it made me feel. Okay, so before we close the podcast, I want to talk to you guys about something. So there's been a debate going on about the way that film media is distributed. How do you guys feel about straight like releases to straight streaming or like DVDs or something like that? Like if a movie were to be like produced like Godzilla is, but didn't hit theaters and went straight to like streaming, like Netflix streaming, or like YouTube as being another viable option for movie releases, how does that make you guys feel?
No.
No,
I
no,
want
no.
to see that in the theater.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want to sit down. I want to enjoy this. I want to set my time aside. I don't want to be bugged by anything. No, straight to theater. Call it a day.
Okay.
Coming from a person who doesn't have like the biggest TV, if I'm gonna go see Godzilla, it's gonna be on a huge screen.
Okay. But it's not just Godzilla. I'm talking about like movies in general.
In general, no. I'd rather go to. If it's a movie, I want to go to the movie theater and see with friends.
It's okay.
It's like that
I'll,
kind
I'll
of
wait till it gets
nice setting, you know. Like it's dark. Usually it's respectful, not always.
Right. That was my thing because like I personally wouldn't mind straight to streaming only because it's like on my time, the comfort like being comfortable in my own room at my house, and I don't have to deal with people.
If I don't want to see it in theaters, I can wait.
Right. I can understand that. Megan, how do you feel about that?
I kind of agree. I like the experience of going to the movies, and so if something like when Star Wars comes out, I definitely am gonna go see it in the movie, like
I
in the
agree.
movie theater. Like you don't want to see something like that for the first time, just in your house. Like
Okay.
I don't know.
John?
I'm definitely for the movie experience because it's a completely different feeling. Like if you watch a movie alone, then it's like a comedy, for instance. It's just like you get a couple chuckles,
Mhm.
that's it. But if you see it with an audience, you will laugh big, and it's a completely different.
Okay.
I just like going to the movies because of the like
Atmosphere?
the setting, the atmosphere. You go to movies to see it on a huge screen, you see it really loud and with a lot of people. Like we've had those times where we sit on the couch at my house and watch movies all day with the group of us, and that's fine. But still, we're gonna go and see like Transformers 4 at midnight release together because I've always done that. Like I've been to every Transformers midnight release, every Batman midnight release, every Hobbit release. It's something that has to be done with me.
Okay.
Why do you support the Transformers?
Why?
Yeah, I was about
Why?
to say.
Okay.
Transformers.
All right, hold on.
I've been a Transformers fanboy since I was a little kid. Watched the shows, had literally all of the action figures and the Dinobots, all of them.
But you're okay with Michael Bay butchering your childhood?
I'm not, but I have to.
That's true.
That's a
He
good
has
time to
no
this.
choice.
So you guys know that Kickstarter projects have been really big so far. How do you guys feel about if movie directors were to present a plot or synopsis of a movie that they want to make, but it has to be crowdsource funded? How would you think about that? Like if they presented, say they said, okay, we want to make a new Godzilla movie. Would you support it by giving them donations through Kickstarter or another means of public funding?
I know, but well, at that point, 10 people would be trying to produce Godzilla movies. It's just whoever gets the most money.
No, but it say I'm not saying that's how it is, but I'm saying like there's a system for it and blah 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 blah, and you have to be like this kind of a studio. You have to have this much experience. You have to have this. You have to have that. It's not like, oh, my name is John Bartley. I'm gonna make the new Godzilla movie. Give me $20 million,
And we'll do it.
But I'm saying, like, how do you feel about stuff like that? Would you? Is that something you would personally do? Like, would you help finance a movie that you really want to see?
I mean, in that sense, you'd have to see the script, all that other stuff. I don't think it'd be worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
They have plenty of money in my opinion that they wouldn't need that. But I just, you have leaked scripts. You have to read the script. You have to see how you like. I wouldn't be for it.
Okay, Al.
Okay, like this is kind of getting out of hand, the whole crowdsourcing thing.
Mhm.
I'm getting a little upset about it. I used to be really for it, but like if they're gonna make an indie movie, they can show it Sundance, and people who want to see that movie that wasn't very funded can go see it there. Because like nowadays, people are spending money to crowdsource things that are getting released like way later, and like devs for like video games and stuff are releasing early access and half cooked games, and it's just like a waste of time, and I'm sick of it.
Right.
Like same thing with like crowdsourcing movies. I wouldn't do it because like if I'm gonna see a movie, the trailers are what's gonna pull me. I'm not gonna actively search for stories that are maybe
Right.
like moved into movies.
And the reason I ask this is because have you guys heard about Zach Braff wanting to fund one of his own movies? The guy who played JD from Scrubs.
Another one of his movies.
Another one of
That's-
his movies. Yeah. So that's why I asked. Megan, how do you feel about it?
I'm pretty much with the general consensus. I wouldn't do anything with it. Like,
Mhm.
sure, you can go ahead and try, but I don't think it's gonna work.
Okay, John.
I'm incredibly for like Kickstarter and things like that.
Okay.
If someone like a well-known director is trying to get the money to do it, like he presents himself, he says he's going to make a Godzilla, he says his points on what he wants to make it like,
Mm-hmm.
then I think I would definitely try to help out with that.
Okay.
I don't care about the little rewards that you get, like $25 gets you a poster or something like that.
Right.
I just want to get what's that?
Finish up.
I just want to try to get as much money into that thing as possible so it can be made, because sometimes movie producers don't want to see that movie.
Okay.
They don't want to make that movie because they think, it's not going to make that much money. So I think Kickstarter and things like that are incredibly viable.
Okay.
I would totally donate to have a talking role in a movie. Done.
All right, Alex.
Yeah, like donate $1,000, you get
Speak
like,
up, pleb.
donate like $1,000, you get online in a movie. Like you are a coffee store owner.
Guy 1. Guy 2. Okay.
Frappuccino for this guy. Okay.
Last question.
Wait.
Whatever. Okay.
That was your answer.
And-
You
and
said
I
no.
want to add to the
Or you
Kickstarter
said
thing.
yes with Jared's opinion.
Well, like I agree with that, but I don't think Kickstarter for movies is okay.
Okay.
That's it.
I want to it's Kickstarter is good because the people know what they want.
Mhm.
Movie producers don't necessarily know what the moviegoers want to see.
Okay.
Like you can see that for the prequel Star Wars. Like they wanted to see it, but it just was so terribly done that it was terrible. Like no one was gonna fund the Oculus Rift, like a company, because they're just like, virtual
Which is
reality,
the virtual reality
The-
goggles that you get.
which
from
are
the
now-
first people. Yeah.
which are now like being used in government because it's fucking phenomenal.
Okay.
But a company would not look into that because it was just like, another virtual reality thing. But right when he put it on Kickstarter, people had faith in that. and they just threw money in. And because of that, it's this huge thing that's amazing now. And it's just like, companies are thinking like, why didn't we fund this?
Okay, Kickstarters for small independent companies, yes. Big time producers, no.
How do
Okay,
you know you don't know?
that brings me to the last question. Answer yes or no. That's it. Yes or no. Okay.
We can't do that.
Yes,
though.
we can. You can't, however.
I can.
Okay, yes or no question. Do you think that you should help fund a big time company that is wanting to produce something like we were just discussing? Yes or no? Big company asks you for money on Kickstarter. Do you help or no?
Maybe. Depends.
It really does depend.
No.
Yes or no? Maybe? Okay.
It's definitely
Okay. I was going to say
Yes
no.
and no.
They have the money, they have the means, they have the connections. It's easy for them to get.
So we're only allowed to say yes or no.
Yes, because John and everyone else are on Big Time. We got to say goodbye to the podcast, people. This has been the Lunchable with Chad and Clinton. Ow.
No, you're not out.
Alex. Alex.
Alexander Montgomery.
Goodbye, guys. Bye. Bye.